All right, guys. So today's trade recap, we hit a $150 break even. Um, Drink some water. I'm dehydrated a little bit. Just got done walking my dog. Probably gonna meditate a little bit after this. And again, I watched Salmon, and I watched this video about why do we break our rules and what do we need to do if we break our rules. Because again, I this whole month all I've been doing is breaking my rules, and that isn't okay. So for today's or for the rest of my lifetime as a trader, if I break my rules, hold me accountable to this. If I break my rules, I have to run 5 miles. All right. He said 3 to 5 miles. You fast for 12 hours. He's like, "Hello, my beautiful people." You know that guy right there. Um, and it's true, bro. I have to hold myself accountable, and I have to make myself run 5 miles if I break my rules. Cause who wants to run 5 miles? Dead ass. Who wants to run 5 miles when it's like 40 degrees outside? Sun's not even out yet. Who wants to do that? So that's a beautiful, beautiful punishment if we break our rules. And another one is fasting for 12 hours. That one's pretty good. I won't lie. That's another one. If I can't run, I'll fast for 12 hours. Like if I have work or some shit, and I can't make it in time to go run, because running 5 miles is gonna take a good amount of time. I won't lie. And you gotta clean yourself up. You gotta do this and that, and then you gotta go to work. So if we can't do that, we fast for 12 hours. So yeah. We're not drinking any other bullshit either. We're not drinking those Red Bulls. We're not drinking those Gatorades. We're drinking straight water only. Water only. No I mean, we can add electrolytes in the water, but sugar free. We're not getting no. Matter of fact, just water only. No bullshit. All right. All right. So let's go over today's trade recap. Today's trade wasn't really. It wasn't bad. I won't lie. It wasn't bad. Um, This was my draw on liquidity right around here, a little bit above these highs. That's kind of where I was aiming for. The market didn't meet it, but very, very sloppy market delivery. ES, I would say is decent. YM, probably the best one, honestly, with this strong delivery. Came back down, inversion, enter, boom. Strong delivery, strong upside, around 120 points, 0.25, bro. 100.25% here on this trade. You 0.20, not bad. I did enter a little bit early, I won't lie. So I entered around here. Stop loss was of course below these lows. I did add an extra contract because again, I thought 5 cons would be good with a 40-point stop, but it was a little bit too low. So then eventually I realized, all right, I need to risk a little bit more, and then eventually I kind of bought another one. Well, I didn't kind of. I just bought another one. And then eventually I was aiming for... This was the 1-to-1. I was aiming for like a 1-to-2. I won't lie. That was not... Yeah, it was like around here. Like, I would say like around there. Let's just do 40 points, all right? 40 points. This would have been the original, objective. We're aiming for around 2%, pretty much. And let's see. Yeah, it would have been met. But we did try the stop loss. We did hit break even, and of course, the market is just so shitty right now. The conditions aren't probable at all, and that's why we lost today. Took my one trade a little bit early. I thought the market was gonna move. I thought the news was gonna be a catalyst to drive us to the upside after having this manipulation form, but that never happened. And I'm like, damn. All right. I did journal this trade already. I still need to do my hindsight trade, so I'm probably gonna wait. A little bit more for the market to move, see where the best trade could have been. But let's go over this trade idea. Let's start from the higher time frame. Let's start from the 4-hour, and let's work our way down. So on the 4-hour time frame, we did have everybody's trying to, like, I don't know, bro. I won't lie. This is like basic concepts, like CRT, cannon ranges. I won't lie. I learned this like a long time ago from Romeo. Whenever his QTS got leaked, his Turtle Super Room Academy, got leaked, and that's kind of where I learned everything there. It was all over Twitter, Oh my goodness, this is the best way of trading. Oh my goodness, he's bottom taking, he's top taking. That's how he does it. That's how he trades the Turtle Soups. Oh my goodness, bro. But yeah, we had a 4-hour cannon range low sweep, and then eventually on the 1-hour, we also had that form. So what does that mean? It's a high likelihood that the market is going to what? We can't get it black though, so let's do this real quick. There So high likelihood it's a key reversal area. If I'm not gonna give too much sauce here, why not? I'm not. Why? I just don't think it's worth it right now. I feel like I don't have the results. I don't have the credibility to prove this is sauce yet. Until then eventually I'll give the sauce, but I'll just keep breaking it down here. I have my notes, I have all that, but let's just leave it for what it is. Bro, I got my screen dirty now. It's annoying me. It's like my fingerprints. All right, but we had this 30-minute Sibi, which eventually later got an inverse. We had a 30-minute sweep, EBP form, market open, pushed down lower, and then pushed up higher. Met our objective on third candle there. 15-minute time frame, we had a 15-minute sweep, but then eventually you can see the market was both sides, wicking both sides. It looked like you could go both ways, but at the end of the day, we did sweep previous day low. So what does that mean? We're probably going to be likely aiming for what? The objective is equilibrium of the range. Simple as that. That's kind of what the market is going to be reaching for. Not kind of, I just know that's the market. That's what the market's going to be reaching for. I need to stop doing that. I just kind of know this is what the market's reaching for. Equilibrium of the range there. Of the previous candle. So yeah, and then on the 5-minute time frame, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. The 5-minute really didn't give us anything, so that's kind of why I scaled down. I looked at the 3-minute, I was like, it doesn't. You can see this bearish candle, but like we know in that bearish candle we have a Sibi, and eventually you scale down to the 1 minute, and you're like, whoa, this looks nice. We have a 1-minute Sibi here, and let me not do that. And the market is just dropping down lower. And eventually you can see here we inverse it, push up higher, break above these highs, stops to break even, of course. And then we come back down. We almost stopped me out. My original, entries down here almost stopped me out. Market pushes back up, fails to make this Sibi inverse. Let's zoom in a little bit for you guys. So we failed to make this one inverse. Even on the 5-minute, we had a Sibi. We made that inverse here on the 5-minute. You can see this one right here. I was also using this as like a confluence, like, okay, maybe the market is going to start moving up higher. But again, just very sloppy delivery. Why? We have news tomorrow. It's kind of a key standpoint. We have FOMC tomorrow. So, of course, the market is not really going to be trying to move. I don't know if we have earnings, though. So that's another thing. I don't know if we have earnings for any big companies. Of course, top 10. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But what I do know is we do have FOMC. So the market is probably just waiting, gyrating for that. It's time-based liquidity that's forming, and then eventually, yeah, we failed to make this inverse. We pushed down, then we came in, we stopped me out. I did trail my stop loss once we had this strong displacement candle above here. I trailed my stop loss to this right here, the body low of this order block, and then eventually you can see the market just came down with speed. I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see, since we had strong displacement with this candle, a continuation to what break above here, these highs, and continue to my draw on liquidity, because this is all low resistance liquidity that formed. And it looked clear, the market was going to move with speed. It's going to like melt through this with butter, but that never happened. And then eventually the market just started gyrating around my entry. And of course I was already out, locked my account, one trade, 1%, followed the system, and I'm done for today. And that's basically really it. And then eventually you can see the market just kept gyrating, slowly going up, cooking. And then eventually we met my draw on liquidity. And that would have been, if I did not trail the stops, that would have been around over 1 hour and 10 minutes for my trade to hit. And in all due reality, bro, that would be the longest trade I've ever taken. As opposed to like on the 1 minute, that's a 1 minute entry. As opposed to like a 5-minute entry, then of course, if I have like a higher target, that's like valid, because it's a 5-minute entry. But on the 1 minute, bro, a 1 hour trade on the 1 minute doesn't seem ideal for me, if I'm being truly honest. Unless like I'm trying to like hold it for majority of the day and I caught the bottom of the bottom, then yeah. But here, it just looks super unprobabilistic, because again, we're just chopping inside of a range. If we had strong displacement and we were just chopping around above the 5-minute inversion, then of course, that would have been a better trade idea, and I could have seen it hold for like, a good, 30 to an hour maybe, But even then, I probably would have been trailing the stops and trying to get out if we're just chopping. So if this would have been the chop right here, then of course I probably would have held the trade and let it run. Why not? Because again, it's closer to the drawn liquidity. But yeah, that was pretty much really it. Not really much else to it. Today was a really slow day. Not really one that I would favor in terms of trading, but it was what it was. It is what it is. You know, took my trade, followed my system, hit for a $150 trade. Again, we could have probably aimed for a 1R. Who knows, you know, but all I know is I aimed for a 2R, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. I tried to get out of the drawdown. That would have left us, if we did hit a 2R, that would have left us with only around 0.5% left in drawdown, you know, and we're risking 1% per trade idea. So we would have got out of the drawdown. We would have had at least, well, today's a winning day, so we would have had at least 2 winning days either way. So yeah, but we would have been closer to getting out of the drawdown. We have 2 winning days under our belt. Next goal is going to be aiming for the drawdown, you know, getting out of drawdown, and just trying to end this month green. That's my main objective, just ending this month green. That's all I really could care about. And of course, getting out of drawdown. But out of drawdown, I know if we just be consistent, we get out of it either way. And yeah, that's really it, bro. Like, not much else to it. That's why I aimed for 2%. If I aim for 2%, just 0.25, and then eventually we have 2 winning days, and then we just need 3 more, pretty much, and then eventually that's light work, if I'm being truly honest, and that would have been like a good amount in terms of like just having a buffer for a payout. But we're not going to be thinking about that. We're going to be thinking about following the system, following the rules, adding to the hindsight trade, reviewing the playbook, showing up every single day, trading our system, following our rules, being disciplined outside of the charts, and that's pretty much really it. Now I'm about to record my video for my vlog. I'm about to meditate, I'm about to do all this. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Keep going, guys. Don't stop. Trading will work out if you continue to put in the work and continue to be disciplined. God will reward you no matter what. So yeah.